Doug MPA back with another video. So here's one of the biggest problems with intersexual dynamics between men and women. If the man does something wrong, it's the man's fault. If the woman does something wrong, it's the man's fault. Take sexless marriages. You guys should know by now that over 25% of marriages are sexless. You can count on your women, on your girlfriend and fiance having less sex with you when you get married. And there's every trick in the book to justify why that's okay, especially if she has kids. And so this site called All Pro Dad, this article is called 5 Reasons Your Wife Doesn't Want to Have Sex with You. And of course, they lay out the reasons and how it's the guy's responsibility to fix it. You're not giving her enough affirmation. You're not loving her enough. You're not accepting her changes. You're not making guys. What can you do as a husband, especially if you're in the top 20% or 15% who are paying the cost to be the boss? What can you do? And articles like these, once again, if the woman does something wrong, it's the man's fault. If the man does something wrong, it's the man's fault. So we're gonna look at this article. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. It shows you support me and what I'm doing over here. And let's see what BJ Foster has to say. It says, remember when you and your wife were dating? It's really difficult to keep your hands off each other. You wanted her and she wanted you. That felt so good. It was awesome. There's no better feeling than being desired. After marriage, and particularly after having kids, things have a way of changing. You're still ready to go every night, but she's not. What happened? She got what she wanted. That's what. And there's a social infrastructure in place that 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 allows her to just not have sex with you and use all the typical weapons: shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. She got what she wanted, and she doesn't have to give you what you want anymore. You feel like you rarely have sex anymore, and when you do, it feels like she's doing you a favor, because women want to keep this dynamic so they can manipulate you. Oh, chore play. Do your chores. I'll have sex with you. On your birthday, I'll have sex with you. You work out, you look good, but it doesn't make a difference. You're lost. This whole marriage sex thing was supposed to be different. Couples counseling might be something to consider for deeper insight. However, these 5 reasons your wife doesn't want sex with you will help you understand and show you what to do. Look, guys, show you what to do. You guys ready? Number 1, she doesn't feel connected with you. Okay, you courted her. You guys probably dated for years. You've been married for years. You have kids together. You pay the mortgage, but she doesn't feel connected with you guys. While we feel more connected to our wives by having sex, our wives need to connect emotionally first. So where along the line did she disconnect? Do women have the right to just disconnect emotionally at will? Do not have sex with their husbands? Is that it? That's what it's sounding like. You may have talked with her about daily logistics or superficial things. She needs more. She wants to be seen, heard, and known. The disconnect causes her loneliness. It's like she's trapped in a dungeon alone. You need to free her. So, guys, on top of all the other responsibilities you have as a man, you need to free her from her trapped dungeon. See, this has to be one of those tradcon sites, traditional conservatives. Guys, if you notice, traditional conservative men and women sound like feminists. They really do. Feminists, everything's the man's fault. Tradcons, everything is the man's fault. Action. Talk to her about her. Find out how she's feeling, her insecurities, fears, and struggles. Also, share how you are feeling. Look at her. No distractions. Get tunnel vision for her. The clear mechanism. God, am I going to be able to make it through this whole thing? Let's keep soldiering on. She doesn't feel sexy. Her body has changed since having kids. She knows it. She probably thinks about it all the time, constantly comparing herself to other women. Even when she returns to her pre-good body, I guarantee you she's still comparing, desiring affirmation. The best place she can get it is from you. Okay, she doesn't feel sexy, but her husband wants to have sex with her. Why doesn't she feel sexy about the fact that you're the husband and you still want to sleep with her? How does that make any sense? Action. Affirm her. She needs to feel your passion for her in your words, body language, and eyes. Tell her she's sexy and why, particularly when she makes a negative comment about herself. When you get home from work, greet her with a long hug and a kiss before you greet the kids. Look into her eyes and don't be in a hurry to look away. When you're out, direct your eyes to her rather than other places. Once again, this is all the guy's fault. It's stuff that you're not doing. Here's stuff that you can do to guys. This is ridiculous. Her sexual appetite is naturally not as strong as yours. Now, guys, we all know that women are like, a woman's sexual prime is in her 40s, and all these guys can't keep up. It's the same thing as, well, women mature faster than men. It's like women say these things when it's convenient, and when it's not, they forget all about it. And tradcon men and women do the same thing. Studies show that over the course of a relationship, a woman's desire for sex decreases while her desire for tenderness increases. The problem is that our desire for sex stays just as high as always, even at its highest state. Her appetite might not have been as high as yours and probably never will be. Action. Recognize this reality and be patient with her. Reach out to her with physical, emotional tenderness if that's what she wants and needs, trying to meet her own needs before your own. You guys, and take into account you're getting up, going to work every day, working some stressful job. So her life is easier. She has to deal with the kids, but you have to deal with the kids too. You have to you have to care for her logically, emotionally, protect her physically. She doesn't have to do any of that with you, but you have to do all this extra stuff, guys. It's crazy. She's tired, stressed, or depressed. Let me just debunk this right now. There's this myth that men aren't tired, stressed, and depressed in a marriage. When you see arguments like this, that's what it is. They just assume that everything. If you're a guy and you're married, you're happy, and that can be further from the truth. Motherhood is exhausting. So is fatherhood. Emotionally draining and stressful. Once again, depending on the depth of her anxiety and depression, you may want to seek counseling. Yes, you may want to do that. Give her some rest. Take the kids out for a day, run some errands for her, or clean the house. If she is stressed or depressed, rub her shoulders without her having to ask her to do it. Give her a foot or full body massage. Tell her to kick back and relax. Now, is she going to do this for you? In fact, all this right here, if she's stressed and depressed, rub her shoulders without her having to ask you to do it. Give her a full body massage. Tell her to kick back. I can replace this where if the husband is stressed or depressed, ladies, have sex with him. But this is non-reciprocal. You're supposed to just give this out, guys, just to get sex. You guys wouldn't be in this situation in the first place, i.e. kids, if you guys never had sex. So you had sex before and now you're not getting sex now. She's focused on being a mom and not a wife. This is a big one right here. Women put a lot of pressure on themselves to be the perfect mom. Well, he said it. Women put a lot of pressure on themselves to have it all together. They beat themselves up for every little mistake or lack of knowledge. They compare and can obsess over eliminating imperfections. Sometimes our relationship as husband and wife get lost. That's not good. Your intimate relationship is important and needs her attention too. She's focused on being a mom and not a wife. Once again, she has the kids already, guys, and you get thrown to the side. What do they say? She comes first, then the kids, then the dog, then the cat, then you. That's how this works when she's focused on being a mom, not a wife. You need to talk to her about how you feel. However, make sure you are not prosecuting or pressuring her. Encourage her about how amazing she is as a mom. Let her know Though that you miss her, want her, and desire her, it might even be okay to use the word jealous here. Your biggest concern should be for more intimacy, a significant need for each of you. Sounds like TradCon men to me, guys. Look at these guys. The All Pro Dad podcast. No thanks. I'm saying it one last time, guys. If the man does something wrong, it's the man's fault. If the woman does something wrong, it's the man's fault. And you have to fix it, guys. Tell me what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you on the next one.